Thank you, Motif Magazine, for having me here today. I had the biggest crush on Motif Magazine. Like, I think you guys do the best work. And we're here at the Parlour, which is like an institution in the Rhode Island music scene. And I don't know where we'd be without the Parlour hosting things like Motif Magazine podcasts and shows. And so I just want to say thank you. Thanks for having me. I'm going to start with a song called Ghost Story. It's like we drank a potion that set it all in motion. The rest, they say, is history. A dark and stormy night, we sat in the car just talking about life. Then one kiss, two kiss, this door's mine. One kiss, two kiss, took it for a sign. Is this a silver lining or just a silver bullet? 'Cause we moved too fast for this to last. And you played me like a hoax, cast a spell, and now I know I'm better on my own. And you're just another ghost story. Thought this was a new ritual. You made it feel so habitual. Pulled the devil card, should have listened to the stars. Just wanted you and I to be part of the divine. Even the fortune teller couldn't look me in the eye. Call it official. Make me sacrificial. One kiss, two kiss, hang on tight. One kiss, two kiss, screams in the night. Is this a silver lining or just a silver bullet? 'Cause we moved too fast for this to last. And you played me like a hoax, cast a spell, and now I know I'm better on my own. And you're just another ghost. And you played me like a hoax, cast a spell, and now I know I'm better on my own. And you're just another ghost story. Thank you. Thank you. Alright, I call that one my spooky banger. So that is out on Spotify. So if you want to start making your Halloween playlists, then that's called Ghost Story, and I hope you put it on all your Halloween party playlists. Alright, this next one is called Not Perfect. I wrote it honestly because I was going to be moving in with my partner, and I hadn't really lived with anyone in like 10 years. And I was like, oh my God, he's gonna finally realize that I am like not a perfect angel, and it's gonna go really, really poorly. So I kind of wrote this as a way to kind of like list out all my fears and worst qualities to kind of like just get that energy out. And surprisingly, or not surprisingly, people really relate to it. So it's called Not Perfect. You might have heard it on the Wheeler School Radio, which was also another privilege and honor to have a radio station back in Rhode Island that supports local musicians. So shout out to the Wheeler School Radio. I can be a little mean when I feel unseen. I can be a little cold when I don't know how this will go. I can get insistent when I feel distant. I can be a little mean. Just so you know that I know that I'm not perfect. Just so you know that I know that I'm not perfect. I can feel a little weak when I don't speak up for what I need. Bite my tongue, say I'm fine, tell another lie. Bite my tongue, air in my lungs, and all I want to do is scream. And I can feel a little and just so you know that I know that I'm not perfect. Just so you know that I know that I'm not perfect. And just so you know that I know that I'm not perfect. Just so you know that I know that I'm not perfect. And just so you know that I know that I'm not perfect. Just so you know that I know that I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. And I'm not perfect. Thank you. I wonder if my boyfriend knows that's about him. I don't. He probably does. It's not about him. It's about me. For him. All right.
Well, he'll know now.
He'll know now. Okay. Cool. This next one's called Quiet Girls, and I wrote it about all the all the contradictions women are told as we are kind of like growing up and forming our beliefs in the world and the way we step foot in the world, and we're told so many different things, and it can be really like contradicting and confusing, and yeah, I wrote this song to kind of combat a lot of like unlearning and relearning that I've had to do. But it's also about murder. Can I say that on the internet? So it's got a little bit of this idea idea of all of that meaning, but infused in a little bit of a story of revenge. Yeah, hope you like it. Back of the car, no one will believe you. Back of the car, and no one can see you. What would you say? What would you say to the quiet girl? What would you say? What would you say to the patient girl? Don't stay out late. What will be our fate? Back of the car, no one will believe you. Back of the car, no one can see you. What would you say? What would you say to the smartest girl? What would you say? What would you say to the careful girl? Don't sneak out at night. They will take your light. But it's the quiet girls. They will find you out. It's the quiet girls. They will hunt you down. Mark my words. Mark my words. At the party where no one believes you. At the party where no one can see you. What would you say? What would you say to the ice cream girl? What would you say? What would you say to the latest girl? Don't be seen. Don't be too keen. At the party where no one believes you. At the party where no one can see you. Should've stayed close to the honey girls. Should've stayed with their stinging ways. Be sweet to us, please. Stay off your knees. But it's the quiet girls. They will find you out. It's the quiet girls. They will hunt you down. Mark my words. Mark my words. And are you sorry now for the quiet girls? They will find you out. They will hunt you down. Mark my words. Are you sorry now for the quiet girls? Quiet girls, quiet girls. Thank you. Something a little different now. So those were 3 singles that I have out on Spotify and all of the streaming platforms now, and we decided to do a little bit of what's called these days like a waterfall release. You're getting a little bit of a seminar 101 in music publishing these days. So basically what you do is you kind kind of tease your album by dropping a couple singles, and you know, letting the Spotify algorithm and all the algorithm gods know that like you've got consistent releases coming out, and then the algorithm likes that because they're like, oh, people are going to come back to our platform for more of your stuff. So we have those 3 singles out on Spotify right now. They're with the full band, and they're kind of like my little spooky reclamation trio of songs. But the album has a lot of other character on it as well, and I got to go to Big Nice Studio and record this full album. And I worked with Emma Newton, who's an incredible producer at Big Nice Studio in Lincoln, Rhode Island. And I went in with the band and we did a couple songs, like full band, which is like the experience that you're gonna get live, mostly. But then Emma and I collaborated on a couple tracks where I just went in with lyrics, piano, and you know, the structure of the song. And we got to really have a lot of fun with layering aspects onto the piano and the vocals that I wasn't anticipating or expecting, and we really got to collaborate and try out different things. So there's 3 songs on the upcoming album that are like a little bit more orchestrated with some woodwinds and some cello, and we used a real piano, and it was just a really beautiful collaborative experience. And I can't wait for people to kind of hear the other side of the music that I can create, which is like not always angry and feminine rage and yelling, which is fun, don't get me wrong. So this track I wrote when I mentioned I was moving in with my boyfriend. I had been living in the same apartment for like 7 years, which is a long time to stay in one, you know, rented apartment. And so the night that I was kind of like really packing up the house and just like really feeling a way about, you know, leaving this space that I felt so safe in for like 7 years, I wanted to kind of write a little bit of a love letter to that apartment to kind of close out the chapter. So this is called Home, and it's kind of my love letter to just feeling safe somewhere for so long.
Mike Ryan. This is Between the Notes with Motif Magazine. We're here with Olivia Dolphin, who just gave a great performance that you probably just watched. We're at the Parlour, and we want to thank our sponsors, R1 Indoor Karting, Aura Dispensary, and Trinity Beer Garden. Thank you very much. Olivia, I'm going to jump right in because we were talking off camera about how to cultivate local listenership and what is the local music scene and what could it be.
Yeah.
And you were actually talking about a Taylor Swift concert.
I was. Oh my God, where did you dive in? So I'm a firm believer that like local music is so important, and so it's just so important, and I really want to do everything in my power to help the scene as much as I can. Like, yeah, I'm out here playing my songs and my music, but I really want to be a good community member, and part of that is doing my part of getting people to the show, getting people to stay for the whole show, getting them not just excited about my music and my act, but the acts I'm sharing time and stage with. And it's hard. I don't think it's any secret that we're all struggling with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the most annoying thing about being a musician these days is TikTok. I'm just gonna be flat out.
Okay.
But and I got so overwhelmed with TikTok. I was like, I have to think about all these trends, and I have to think about viral, and I hate being on camera. Not right now, but I hate being on camera, and I don't want to do it. I don't want to edit videos. I felt so overwhelmed and scared. But when I reframed my approach to social media as, what if I could just find someone new to talk about music with? What if I found someone out there that loved Taylor Swift as much as I did, and they're not my friends, and they're not sick of talking about Taylor Swift with me? What if I could find somebody that loves Tori Amos? What if I could find somebody that loves Fleetwood Mac and Alanis Morissette and this 90s, feminine rage music that's kind of having, a renaissance, and Kate Bush is really popular again. And what if I could find someone to talk to about that I've never met before, that I could ask what their memories are of Tori Amos or what their favorite Taylor Swift song is. And when I reframed my use of social media to try to connect with new people, it totally changed the game. And also to connect with people that are local. There's people in Rhode Island that are on TikTok that have no idea that there's a local music community here, but they love music and they love live music. So I'm trying to do my best to connect the dots. And I did play at Myrtle a couple nights ago on a Sunday night, August 11th. It was my birthday, and I just kind of posted about the show. And I was like, if you want to come down to a music venue that's a vintage store that looks really cool, and if you want to get dressed up and you want to come hang out with me, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be cool, it's gonna be safe, everyone's so welcoming and warm, and you can express yourself how you want to express yourself, come to the show, come hang out. And that was when I think my social media game totally changed. People were like, I had no idea about this venue, or I've heard about this venue and I've never been, I really want to come. And it was these are people that are not in the local music scene, they were totally far outside of it, and I think that those are the people that we have to capture. Otherwise, sometimes it feels like we're just passing the same $20 around to each band, right?
Right.
So that's been really, really fun. And there's a group of us that kind of talk online and share tidbits. And I'm always commenting on other people's videos and things like that, because it's just you feed the algorithm. And this is a community, whether we're in person or online. So if I see, Yonks is a great band, we comment on each other's videos all the time, because we know how hard it is. We know how hard it is to make a video and put it online and feel like you're being silly about it. But it just all comes down to finding those people that went to Taylor Swift at Gillette, 3 sold-out shows. It's a huge stadium.
Yeah.
They love to get dressed up. They love pop music, they love live music. Clearly, they're going to spend $10,000 to go to a Taylor Swift show.
Right.
How do we get those people to support a singer-songwriter in Rhode Island, where you can wear your sparkly boots to an Olivia Dolphin show, or a Yonk show, or whatever, and your cowboy hat, or if you love Chapel Roan, come hang out. I love her too, and we can just connect over that. And so that's my goal, to try to do my part in helping the local venues, which is to get outside of the common web that we have, which is a very strong, wonderful community, and try to branch out a little bit. It's really hard, but I'm trying.
It's a strong, wonderful community, but it has some borders.
Yeah.
Do you think it's intimidating to people, or Or they just really don't know that live music is still a thing? Or what's your sense?
I haven't figured it out yet. I think that, Rhode Island and Providence has been in the news a lot lately, and I do feel like one of the missing links of some of the articles and, of Providence, I felt like the local music scene was missing from some of the shout-outs. Providence has gotten in larger press lately, and that was like a little bit of a bummer. But it doesn't mean that we're not here. It doesn't mean that those other arts, styles and culinary arts and don't deserve shout-outs. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I do feel like there's just a little bit of that storytelling aspect that's missing. But that's not anyone's fault. I think Waterfire does an incredible job at looping in original music to all of their events, and that's awesome. Motif, I think you're holding us up. And Motif is so wonderful for the local musicians. I think it's a little bit of just not knowing where to go. Not, the Providence scene is big, so it's it can, who do I go see? I've got one $10 bill that I'm going to give this venue for door fee. Where am I going to go? Is it going to be a good time? Am I going to meet friends? Am I not?
Well, and that's the diehard.
Yeah.
That's the person who goes to live music already who's deciding
Yeah.
where their $10 will go.
Yeah.
For every one of them, there's like a dozen that probably would have a good time, but just aren't.
They just don't
thinking.
know. Yeah, they're not thinking of it, or they don't know, or they've been meaning to check it out. I mean, that's what I hear all the time. I really want to come to your show. I've been meaning to come to your show. And I'm like, okay, well, come to my show. I mean, it's not just me when you come out to your show that you're supporting the band, the venue, the bartenders. And I really think, it's tough. I mean, it's tough. I think, too, something that we could all do, this might be naive, and I'm really spilling my heart to Motif Magazine right now. I think if we could make the shows earlier, that would really help, because my audience is 30-somethings. I mean, that clock strikes 10 o'clock, they're in bed. And I want to be in bed too. And so I think, venues that are able to do multiple shows, where you get an early show, and you get the late show, and the late people can go to the late show, and the early people can go to the early show. I mean, I think that would be awesome if we could start doing that. But that's hard on the venues. It's double the hours, double the bartenders, so,
Well, and the audience needs to follow that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
That probably takes some time to establish.
Totally.
Wow. All right. You had mentioned that you had started a Discord channel. Is it for musicians primarily?
It is for musicians. It's for Providence musicians. The only criteria to be on this Discord, there's two pieces of criteria. One, you have to reach out to me, I'm the only admin. Mm-hmm. Two, you just have to be a gigging musician in Providence, and whatever that means. So I specifically want to cultivate a community for people that are out there playing shows. So that I want the conversation to be that. And we have a couple members, and we have a couple channels within Discord, and some of it's resources, and so people are posting when Sticker Mule did the whole Sticker Mule stuff, when they sent out a really bizarre email about politics and it just wasn't appropriate for a business. Everyone was like, where can I get my stickers made? And we talked about where you can get merch made, or we're all trying to be a little bit more sustainable. So when you're trying to make merch and screen print on used clothing items, where's the best place to go get used clothing items for merch? And we're just resource sharing like that, and it's really cool. Or if somebody drops off your bill and you need somebody last minute, you can post in the Discord and be like, I need help, and people have been jumping up, and I needed a cellist, and I reached out and I said, does anyone know a cellist? And I got recommendations. So it's been a really great resource, I think, where it's you're not just shouting into the void of social media, it's a little bit more focused, and it's been awesome. So if you're a musician out there and you want to join the Discord, reach out to me, and I'd love to grow this.
Cool. It's the rising tide raises all boats theory.
So that's the theory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, well, we won't, this isn't about what I think, but definitely the potential to do that is in Providence.
I think so.
Providence has had a legendary music scene, and in some ways it does right now.
Yeah.
But the pulling in of the audience is an interesting challenge. I love hearing what you guys are going with. But let's talk a little bit about your own music.
Yes.
And so first I gotta add, you introduced a lovely, great song, I'm Not Perfect, about the tension of moving in with your boyfriend, and then you cut to a murder song.
Yeah, I did.
Should he be concerned?
No. My partner is a shining star.
Cool.
So no, he shouldn't be concerned. But yeah, I do love to play a little pretend in my songs, but I also like to tell the truth. So it's up to the audience to figure out what's what.
Nice. How long is that waterfall that you mentioned?
We started releasing tracks in, oh my god, I want to say May, I think, May.
Okay.
So like every 4 weeks we've been releasing singles, 4 or 5 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And that's a tough pace to keep up because if you promo, you get a little hype going for one song and then you promote it and then you get a little hype going for the next song you promote it and then, it's really driving towards the full album. And most musicians these days don't put out a full album. They just do single after single and remixes and, all that stuff to keep feeding the algorithm, feeding that beast. And I'm a firm believer of like projects and, a cohesive chapter of my music. And I really wanted to do a full album. And I'm excited to see how it goes. It's not the trend right now to do a full album, but I'm a firm believer in like a beginning, middle, and end of a musical project, and I'm excited to put out a full album.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have some degree of vision for what the rest of the album is going to be already, or does that come to you as you go?
Yeah, the album is done.
Oh.
We recorded it all at once at Big Nice Studio in Lincoln, Rhode Island.
Oh, great.
We did 9 tracks. And that
so this is a release strategy.
This is a release strategy.
Nice.
Yeah, it's done. It comes out next month.
All right.
I don't have a solid release date of that album, but the album release show is at AS220 on September 28th, and it's going to be an incredible time. My guitarist Luke does like looping, improvised music. He's opening the show, and then we're playing with Dr. Jones, who I've just been enamored with for a long time. They've been in the Providence music community for a really long time, and I really look up to Kate Jones. And then my full band is playing the full album. So I'm just really excited to kind of like release this full album that I got to record and collaborate with like a lot of amazing people.
Wow. Yeah. Let's talk. You mentioned improvisation, and I felt during your performance you were having a lot of fun at some moments that might be different from, say, the next time you perform it.
Yeah.
How much of that is going on, and to what extent is it locked in?
Oh wow, what a great question, and what a great thing to ask. I have always said that I want improv to be a big part of my journey as a musician, because I have never written. Like, in 2015 was the first time I wrote a song, ever. I was a poet for a long time, I was a writer for a long time, and I was a classical flute player for a long time. And I played piano for fun. I never, ever married the two. And when I finally did, it was through improv. It was through taking an old poem, playing random chords on the piano, and seeing what came out of my mouth. And then I started to learn pop structure and kind of falling in love with that style of storytelling. And I put it all together. But I never want my live performance, and I think that's part of bringing an audience to a live performance is what is she going to say now? What is she going to do now? How is it going to be different? So there's elements of like song structures that stay the same always, but there's elements of just being a little bit more fun with the tempo or honestly, I never say...
Some of your vocals.
Some of my vocals are different. I never say the same lyrics twice sometimes,
Wow. Okay.
And some of that is because it's late and I'm forgetting. And some of it is, that slipped out, let's play on it. So yeah, improv and being able to do it live has always been really important to me.
Yeah, I noticed even when you were doing the intro for one of the songs, you were playing a melody under it for the whole time.
Thank you. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
Your brain.
Have you ever done? So there are places like Kismet that do real musical improv, like everything's made up.
I'm not that good. I'm not that good, but those people are very talented. Yeah.
I would disagree. I mean, I agree they're very talented. I'm sure you could also
maybe one day.
do that.
And that's a skill. It's a skill. Yeah. But I like bringing it to the stage and to live shows and to performances like this where it's never the same twice, you know, and I think that that's really cool.
So how does that work with your band? And actually, I'm going to back up. How often do you perform with a full band, and how often are you doing the solo acoustic? Because I'm familiar with the solo acoustic.
You've
But-
gotta come see the band.
Okay.
I tried mostly to play with the full band now. I think you get a lot of different colors, and a friend of mine had seen me mostly solo, and then he saw me with the band, and he was like, "You come alive with the band," and so that was a really nice compliment. The band is, you know, full drum kit, guitar, bass, and then my harmonica player who runs his harmonica through amps, so it's an amplified harmonica, and through pedals, and so everyone's like, "Olivia, you were great, but the harmonica is the coolest thing I've ever heard." And so the live experience with them is a little bit more structured. It's less improv, and you sometimes will jam between songs, but that is really structured. But it's still, you know, it's a conversation. So, you know, the bass player is like really, you know, hitting hard. When, you know, I might respond with that with my lyrics, and the guitarist and Jeff, the harmonica player, like they're always a little, you know, it's never quite the same twice, and I might play off of that a little bit with the vocals. So it's fun. The full band is, I'm really lucky to play with the guys that I play with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen your music described as witch pop,
Yes.
which
Oh
sounds
my
like is there a jazz element to witch pop? What is witch pop?
What is a witch pop? Oh my god. Okay, so witch pop is, you know, I'm a firm believer that live music is modern spellcasting. It's modern making of the magic. This is where it happens. And I think some of that is like this idea that it's never the same twice. That's kind of like a spell and magic. But it also comes down to like my lyrical content. You know, I love tarot cards. I love astrology. I love community. I love all the things that make witchy things witchy. And I think there's a little bit of a dark pop element to witch pop. So think Tori Amos, think Alanis Morissette. But it's also in the lyrical content of acknowledging, you know, my love of tarot cards and astrology, and you
More
know,
than a few ghosts in your lyrics.
there's a lot of ghosts. It's a lot about, you know, the power of female friendships, you know, having a coven, and what else am I going to say about witch pop? Yeah, and honestly, we're being honest, right? This is supposed to be honest.
Please, totally.
You got a brand, you know, and I come from a Harry Potter background, so I've been witchy, you know, my whole life. I've been really drawn to this, and those are the type of people I want to connect with, the people that love a little bit of the mystique, the darkness, the spooky season. You know, they can't wait for all the new Halloween stuff to come out and decorate. You know, I'm a firm believer that Halloween starts on August 11th, my birthday, but you know. So, you know, when you're ready to decorate for Halloween and you need somebody to listen to, like, I hope you come listen to my stuff. So
Okay.
That's witch pop, and it's primarily just about the strong belief that I have that music is modern day magic.
That's beautiful. Which house would you be in?
Oh, I am a Gryffindor through and through, but I don't talk about Harry Potter anymore.
All right, let's run its course.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So who are your modern witch idols?
Oh, man. So thinking large, I've said it 1,000 times. Like Tori Amos was someone that I didn't listen to before I started writing music, and then a friend of mine was like, "You know, you sound a lot like Tori Amos," and I was like, "Who's that?" Like, so. But now she's one of my biggest influences. I also think like the Doors. Like I draw a lot of influence from the Doors, which is another artist I didn't grow up listening to. And I actually went to LA with a friend. She was like, "Let's stay in Jim Morrison's hotel room." And I was like, no. Have you seen the photos of that hotel room? It's like a dingy hotel that they. Yeah. And she was like, "Please, let's do it." And I was like, "Okay, fine." And I had this running joke with my boyfriend at the time that I was like, I think I was possessed by Jim Morrison after staying in that hotel room. And I was like, he's following me around. Like, I'm haunted by Jim Morrison after sleeping in that bed.
You could do worse.
I could do worse. And so I do think that there's an element of, you know, after that experience, I was like, I gotta know who this guy is. I mean, look at this room. It's, you know, people are worshiping, you know, him. So there's that. And, but I also think there's some local musicians that I really, really, really love. Win in the White Light. They call themselves Haunted Rock, and they're incredible. And they're kind of, again, this like modern day magic kind of like, let's work it out all on stage. They're incredible. How's About Charlie has kind of that earthy sound, and I love playing shows with them. And I think that you don't have to look far from Providence to get the witchy vibes. I would just say that, the spooky vibes. It's here.
I think Voodoo Sisters are going to be on the show in a couple
I have a couple, Voodoo Sisters is amazing. We're playing with them in October. I can't
Excellent.
wait. Yes, I'm so excited.
Cool.
Yeah.
There's some high concept thinking behind a lot of your songs.
Yeah.
What's your process for coming up? Do you have a bigger concept you want to address, and then you try to find a story that goes with it? Or do you start with the stories? Or is it?
It's a great question. To quote Taylor Swift, it's never the same twice, and I think that's why songwriting is so cool, because it never happens the same way twice. There are things that I work through concept writing. So on the album, and this is on our first album too, but we re-recorded it. It's a song called I Don't Think About You Anymore. And I wanted this song to really be about this, you're doing all these mundane things and you've gone through a breakup and like you can't stop thinking about this person, and like you're just like looking at books and you're like, man, I should read more, and like, but you're thinking about this person that broke your heart, or you're cooking in the kitchen and you're thinking about this person that broke your heart, or you're turning on Netflix and you're thinking about this person that broke your heart, and then one day it's a different kind of haunting, and then one day you're like, man, I don't think about you anymore, and it's a little bit about that journey of I used to think about you all the time, and now I don't think about you anymore at all. And then there's the irony of those lyrics. But so that was like a concept song. But then sometimes with like Home, which I played here tonight, that was like, I just really wanted to honor this place that I was living, and all of these like inside jokes I had with my friends, like, long porch nights. We used to sit and drink wine out on the porch. The stained glass windows, like that's a big aspect of like Providence, architecture, is if you drive by these old homes and there's all this stained glass on them. Like I just wanted to honor aspects of that, and like that was a song that like the lyrics kind of just fell out of my brain, like, sometimes I don't even think it's my brain. I think it's like you're gifted this thing, from wherever creativity comes from. And so, it never happens the same way twice, but it's always exciting.
Nice. All right. Is there anything I didn't touch on that you wanted to talk about? Anything?
Yeah. Okay, so to tie all of this together, so my whole ethos of music and live music and getting audiences out, I am looking to start a series called Well Versed PVD. And the idea is that you'll become well versed in the local music scene. Oh. And so they'll kind of be like blended genre shows. And actually Motif covered the one I did for Valentine's Day, but I hadn't branded it under Well Versed yet. And the idea is that there's so much creativity in Providence. We've talked about it already, and there's so many cool acts that are doing different things. And one of my hypothesis is of getting people out to live music is by bringing in a ton of different acts under one theme. So at a SKU on October 19th, and it's earlier in the day, it's at 3 o'clock, we're going to do a ghost story, Well Versed PVD. And so we have Voodoo Sister on the bill. I might play. We have a ghost storyteller from Providence Ghost Tours. Mm-hmm. We have a friend of mine who's going to tell stories. He actually goes ghost hunting. So he's a paranormal investigator. I have an artist friend that's going to be doing a little bit of an art installation. And so this is all just under the theme of ghost stories. And I'm just a firm believer that by doing these themed events with songwriters and storytellers and poets and artists and stand-up comedians, and all of these people that do different things. If we pull them together under one theme, then maybe somebody will be like, okay, I'll go to that because I'm going to get a little taste of everything.
Right.
We can start blending our audiences. We can start blending, people that might like stand-up comedy are going to come to this show and they might find a songwriter that they really like. So that's something that I'm trying to do. And our next one is October 19th at MSQ. Yeah. So I'm excited for that.
Well versed. All right.
Well versed. The idea is that you'll become a well versed bitch.
Okay.
So we'll see.
All right. And there's a spirit joke in there too.
Yes. Yes.
The same spirit.
Yes.
Cool.
The same spirit. I love
Very
that.
interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. So everyone, this has been Olivia Dolphin. We didn't even get to your name actually.
Oh, that's my real name.
Okay.
Olivia Dolphin. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Yep. I stayed away from all the porpoise jokes. You can
Thank
thank me
you.
later.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And Witch Pop.
Witch Pop.
Why don't you let people know where they can follow you online and
Oh yeah.
socials and all that stuff?
Yeah. So I still go by my handle that I made in 2007. So you can find me online, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, at Lividol, Lividol. It's a nickname from high school, Lividol. And come hang out. Let's connect. If you have questions about shows, or you want to hear my music, or you want to just find cool merch, which we're working on, reach out. I love to chat with new people. I love to answer questions about shows. I love to make it feel like a welcoming and warm space. So my DMs are open, and I hope to hear from you.
Awesome. Olivia, thank you so much. That performance was amazing. Thank you for sharing your talent, your art, and your time. This has been Olivia Dolphin on Between the Notes with Motif Magazine at the Parlour, sponsored by R1 Indoor Karting, Aura Cannabis Dispensary, and Trinity Beer Garden. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thanks.